Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Eden Rugby Club. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Eden Rugby Club. My name's Blake, and I'm usually a little bit more comfortable to my right, as I'm the hooker here at Eden Rugby, but we've obviously got the one and only Corey Jane, and this is the tight head prop.
Hey guys, my name's Emmanuel. Our Eden team's looking forward to playing a good game against Ponsonby Rugby Club on the weekend.
Let's kick it off.
On kick-off tonight, we dance. Well, we don't, but Mills does. The confused Blues supporter tries his hand at the tango. And Izzy gets some poor cantabs to sing,
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Grab the streamers and the balloons because it's time to party. The Super Rugby showpiece is here. And it's as close as you'll get to an international clash of the franchises. The red-hot Jaguares have hit town ready to ruin the Crusaders' farewell tour. It's our big game, 6:30 p.m. on Saturday. Plus, the Black Ferns seek revenge against the Frenchies. We look ahead to the rematch at the Super Series in San Diego. As always, surprises, dad jokes, and some questionable chat. Let's get the show on the road.
Hola, como estas? Good evening. A very warm welcome to the kickoff. Well, we have moved locations. We're at Eden Rugby Club, so we thought, since we're going out to the community this week, let's go into our club colours. So, Mills, talk us through who you're wearing.
Yeah, custom boys high school one because it resembles suburbs. I couldn't find my suburbs jersey.
Is that a props jersey?
No. Specs.
I'm wearing Napier Pirates from Hawke's Bay. It's my granddad's jersey. He gave it to me a couple of years ago before he passed away, so special.
Kirsten, I'm wearing the only club from Wellington, Petone. I know you're a bit
This is
down
a
about that. I
stolen
never lost
jersey.
to
A
Upper Hutt.
stolen jersey.
Upper Hutt Rams. Mighty Upper Hutt Rams, yep.
And I'm wearing Nongataha from Rotorua as well. And we've got a very special guest on the show tonight, KT.
Yes, we do. Junior, the manager of the Eden Premiers team here. You've got a big game coming on this weekend, mate. Just tell us a little bit about the trophy you got here.
Yep, this is the Fred Allen Cup, and that's just like the Ranfurly Shield of Auckland Rugby. The holders have to put that up every home game they play, so it's always a challenge.
And Junior, you obviously got a big game against the Ponsonby team. You're playing for the Shield, which I'm about to hold up.
Yes, that is the Alan McAvoy Shield. Big game this weekend against Ponsonby, 2:45 p.m. down at Western Springs.
And the thing is, you haven't actually won it. They let you borrow it, so, you know, you're going to let it out?
We're only borrowing it for the night.
But it's going to come back?
Yes.
That's why you're the manager. Very diplomatic, my mate.
Hopefully come back with your name etched into it for the first time ever. Thank you so much for joining us, Junior. We move on now to your weekend schedule. It is jam-packed. Of course, don't forget Ponsonby and Eden are going head-to-head this weekend. 2:45 on Saturday if you're around. But of course, it is the Super Rugby final. We'll be live from 6:30 p.m. in Christchurch on Saturday night. There's still tickets available. There's also the Road to the Final show, a full hour previewing the season and how the Jaguares and the Crusaders got there. That's 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night live on Sky Sport 1. And of course, we can't forget the Black Ferns are taking on France on Sunday morning. It's the rematch in the San Diego Super Series, so make sure you tune into that one. But, well, there could only be one big game this weekend, and that is the Super Rugby final. It is down to 2, and we're just 2 days out from it. The Jaguares, the first ever time, and KT's having food delivered to him while he's here.
Carry on as you
Shredding, as you
Carbo
were.
loading, mate. We trained
Well, let's get into the Super Rugby final and take a look at the team list for this weekend. The Crusaders, well, they are formidable. They're going for their 10th title in a row, and they have the people to get them there as well. To replace Scott Barrett and the forwards Mitch Dunshea, Izzy. Interesting choice.
Yeah, big boots to fill for Dunch, but yeah, he's been around the team for a couple of years now. He's got a lot of experience. He plays for Lincoln Rugby Club down in Christchurch and gets a lot of game time there. But yeah, big game coming in for the big show. He's going to be awesome.
And Jack Goodhue, he has moved to 12. And in jersey number 13, the newly minted All Black Braden Ennor in for Ryan Crotty.
Yeah, what a big week, isn't it, for Braden Ennor, being named in the All Blacks and obviously moving in now to a super final. It sent us a huge game for him. Looking forward to all the way he goes.
And of course, we know that how much impact the bench has in the second half. It's a 23-man game these days, not a 15-man game. And there's a very exciting name there, 23, Will Jordan.
Yeah, it's good to have him back, isn't it? So he's an exciting player. Got to try and get into that starting 15 with the Crusaders, which is unreal at the moment. So, but I'm looking forward to seeing him play.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we'd now take a look at the Jaguares. They are visiting. They've made their first ever Super Rugby final in record time. It's been just 4 years since this team started in Super Rugby. An unbelievable rise to the top. And boy, do they have some experience in here. It's basically the All Blacks of the Crusaders taking on the Pumas here. Guido Pitti, there's Thomas Lavanenu, Pablo Matilda is outstanding in jersey number 6, but it's the backs that you really like the look of, KT.
Oh, 100%. You know, I was lucky enough just recently to be in Argentina and went and watched them live a couple of games. You know, another real deal. I think people in New Zealand don't sort of realise how good this team is. Every single year they've improved in the competition, deservedly so, make the final. I think their front 8, I think they're the only team that can sort of compete with the Crusaders at the minute, so they're going to be tough.
They've got some big names on the bench as well, so don't you worry about the Jaguares in Christchurch this weekend. Well, Israel Daggs just signed his new contract with Sky. He's still learning about television and how it all works.
We're on
So
PTMs.
we decided to send him out on the streets of Christchurch, and these guys are not safe.
I'm joined here at the Cathedral Square by Mike. Do you know who they're playing?
Yeah, it's hard to pronounce, but the Jaguares.
The Jaguares. Do you know Mills Molina?
Yeah.
Corey Jane? Carlton Anna? If you had to rank them from 1 to 3.
Mills, Corey, and the last one.
Mills Molina, Corey Jane. 1, 2, yeah.
You don't know Carlton Anna? Legend, sevens player, dreads, talks like a hoary on TV.
Corey Jane.
Number 3.
Number 1.
Number 1. Sure.
Oh, you.
Yeah, Albert. I'm joined here by Danielle. She's from Canada, but she's actually supporting the Jaguares. Oh no, you're lying. What's happened?
I don't know why this is...
It's just going ballistic there. You bloody stole it. See you later. Okay, you gotta finish this song for me. Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Argentina.
Do you know Corey Jane?
No.
Oh, that's all right. You don't need to know him. He's terrible anyway. What about Israel Dagg?
No.
She doesn't even know me. How sad's that? Mark, happy birthday, brother.
Thanks, mate. It's 50 years. It's a bit of an auspicious occasion.
Oh, you thought you looked the same age as Corey Jane there?
Yeah, too right, mate.
What about a dance? Can you dance?
No.
Okay, just do a little tangle, bro. No, don't shake your hips like that. Is that a tango or is that a waltz? Ish. Ish. You know how to step?
I didn't realise Ed Sheeran was down there doing a concert, is he? What's he up to?
I'll tell you what, Israel, if you keep doing interviews like that, you'll be a forgotten man too.
Why is that? Hey, how many times can you ask one question? How many times can you ask one question?
Different crowd, KT.
He hooked the microphone too.
Bro, you know how it is.
Hey, you were laughing at your own questions and they were
funny, Corey.
And he was number 5 out of 3 of us.
Okay, well, we need to move on from the dancing,
Awesome,
from
mate.
the singing, to our big matchup, and we're talking about the midfield. They're both in the top 10 for tries scored this year. First of all, it's Braden Eno. It's his second year. How's he been, CJ?
Oh, he's been outstanding and he's got an opportunity in different positions. So now it's a big one from last week. There was a bit shaky when Crotty went off. You know, him and Goodhue came in at 12 and 13. So now he's got an opportunity to start the game there. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and he was just named in the All Blacks this week. Crazy to think that 2 years ago he was in the New Zealand under-20s, but he's taking on this guy, Matthias Orlando, who this year has been a revelation for the Jaguares.
Yeah, I think the thing with Orlando, he's so strong, you know, and he really sets up his wingers, but the running meters, especially last week, was through the roof from this bloke, you know, so he's legit at 13. He's very different from Eno. Eno's likes to hit those holes, but whereas this guy likes to run over the top of you.
2 tries last week as well. Who will have the biggest impact on their side? Mills.
Out of those two?
Out of those two.
Oh, gee.
We know Izzy won't take his eye patch off.
You're asking me. I was
no.
like, what do you think?
Of course.
Well, I think Orlando, he sort of goes under the radar a little bit. You know, he's fairly unpredictable, but all of a sudden he creates big moments. Eno, on the other hand, he goes looking for work. He's actually, his impact and what he does, he glides out, he comes on a short ball. So for me, it'd have to be Eno, but he's got to get quality ball up front. It's always the case of getting that quality ball. And both teams have got good forward packs.
Oh, absolutely they do. And the Crusaders, well, we're going to talk about them now. We're going to talk about the razor effect. If you don't know the butterfly effect, it's when something small has a big impact on change in the future. And Razor, you'll be able to talk about him, Izzy, since you've already won 2 Super Rugby titles under him, but he's a different kind of guy.
Corey's not shaking your head, but yeah, obviously Razor, he's different. He just brings that different. you know, kind of angle to coaching, and I've been coached by a lot of coaches, and he's just, I don't know, he's someone you want to play for. He brings a lot of inspiration. And
Why though?
Oh, just the way he coaches. And I know you were in our awards night and you kind of seen the background. You can't obviously share it because we told you not to, but just he brings a different aspect to rugby and culture, and I don't know, he kind of makes you want to play for it. I've told a few people this, I've never really had a coach that I've wanted to play for, and he's kind of one of them that I've actually got out of bed and said, I want to play well for him. So, yeah.
That's because he's got the accounts to make sure the accounts keep paying you for the rest of the year, eh? I'd get out of bed for that too,
Next
man.
week you're different because it stops getting paid, eh? So
I stopped January the 1st. Corey got my last pay.
KT, you look like you wanted to jump in and say something there about Scott Robertson.
I think the thing is he has that thread that every coach has, but he comes from a different angle, I think he's trying to say. You know, he comes with something fresh. He loves getting the crowd amongst. You see him coming out pre-game and he's yelling to the crowd and telling them to get up. But when it's time to go serious, you know when to switch on, and that's what you love about him. And like you say, he makes you want to play for the dude.
He's a storyteller, and he's like his own hype man, isn't he? Completely opposite to the coach of the Jaguares, Gonzalo Quesada. And we're going to talk to him tomorrow because he actually sits by himself in his coaching box. We'll find out all that information on the road to the final at 7:30. But now, well, there is a ton of experience leaving this Crusaders. This is their final crusade, including Israel Day. But you've got players like Ryan Crotty, Kieran Reid. It's really an end of an era for this side, CJ.
yeah, it is, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward. You know, when you lose so much firepower that they are losing, you know, will the Crusaders still be the Crusaders of what we're expecting to see, or we have seen over the last few years? So
it's a great question, isn't it, Mills?
I think it is. I mean, you look at the way they've not so much rotated, but look at the guys that are still coming through. You got guys, you said, Will Jordan, he's sitting on the bench. So there's plenty of competition. Enor goes into the mix because Crotty's about injured. So there's still plenty of guys out there. Quinton Strange, you know, we haven't spoken about him, and Blackadder and co. So still heaps of guys coming through.
You're talking about these guys coming through, but actually they've been in the system for a number of years now. They are not new. We're talking about guys like George Bridge. Sevu Reece is in his first year, but it's more of a changing of the guard, isn't it, KT?
Yeah, I think that's always been a hallmark of what this Crusaders outfit's always been about, you know, and I think anyone that comes into this environment, you can see young or old, they always thrive. That's internally led, I suppose, is he? And then I suppose that's why it's been such a success.
Yeah, for sure. They come in the environment, and they're kids that weren't really big rock stars at high school, but they come in, they want to learn, they put their front foot forward, and they just want to get the best out of it. And you know, Sevu, he's an unbelievable year, and he's been rewarded this week. He's named in the All Blacks squad, and he's looking forward to having a big one this weekend.
Named in the All Blacks and has just signed another 2 years for the Crusaders. There's no way they were going to lose him, were they, Mills? No way.
There's no way he was going back to the Waikato. So, and good on him too. He showed his class and obviously too the environment too. He's loving it down there, and what he's producing on the field is something special.
Imagine if you didn't get injured, Izzy. Maybe he wouldn't even be here.
I know.
You've uncovered the star.
I remind them every day, actually. I'm happy. That makes me happy knowing that because of my downfall, I've given that guy like an opportunity. And look, his dreams come true. He's playing for the All Blacks.
Yeah. Very humble, an unbelievable player, and we cannot wait to see those two playing in the final as well. And another one, friend of the show, Bryn Hall. Didn't make the All Blacks this week and probably was a little bit unlucky, but he's made the Māori All Blacks, and he'll be stoked about that and that he's got a final to play in.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be upset a little bit, but, you know, TJ and Aaron Smith were never not going to make it. And Brad Webber's just been playing out unreal, and the whole New Zealand think he's been playing unreal. So this guy, he's got an opportunity to go into the Māoris and stake his claim then, but he's had a good year.
Hotly contested area, isn't it, the Nines? And you've got to think too, if anything, you look at the Crusaders backline and some of the guys that are playing there, you know, Bryn's right up there. He's playing some good footy, but there's also a guy in Brad Webber who's had an exceptional year behind a pack that's actually going backwards as well. So it's fairly hot. He'll know. He'll go there and sit there, but his time will come.
As he's doing this, and I want to. Are you tired, or have you got your Crusaders patch on?
I'll take my eye patch off, and I'll say like.
You're being marshy now.
He's in a position that's contested well, and Brad deserves his opportunity.
You're only saying that because he's from Hawke's Bay, Brad, eh?
Oh, Hawke's Bay boy, good point.
So the patch is back on.
Patch on now.
I'm just distracted a wee bit by this food, the beautiful food that Eden Rugby Club have put on here, but we need to go to, well, we know that Mills is coordinated on the rugby field, but is he coordinated on the dance floor? Eat your heart out if you're looking for the next contestants for Dancing with the Stars.
I'm a little bit nervous, to be totally honest, because I've never had to keep my feet so close together, especially when you're running, you know. And I haven't got a partner. Oh, hello. I'm Mills.
I'm Laura.
Hi, nice to meet you. Are you closing your eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah.
I invite her to go, and when she starts moving, I follow. That idea of doing what you sprang and push with your leg, but transmitting to your arms. Slowly.
And stay relaxed.
Yes, that's right.
Slowly,
And smile.
your legs. Be more confident, yes. Really in a straight line. You're not going to step on her. Try to step on her. That is better. You have a nice side step.
I hope so.
Yeah, you should have a good side step, right? Different kind of side step.
Oh, done. No.
Millsy, 3 steps, I've never seen someone so uncoordinated. That was absolutely diabolical, mate. I mean, honestly, you played over 100 tests. That's the most nervous I've seen you, champ.
Oh, I went there to have some fun, and honestly, it just became so serious it wasn't funny. But I've got to thank Carlos and Kelly for taking me through the steps, and also Laura Hill. If you haven't noticed there, Laura Hill, the former Shortland Street actress.
Name drop.
Well, she's fantastic. Great partner, and thank you for the tips.
Awesome, mate. Great that you got out there and you tried your hand at the Argentinian tango. Well, we're going to talk about the Argentines now. Well, you tried anyway. But these boys, if they win this weekend, they are definitely going to be dancing. And Izzy will not be there, that's for sure. It's the Jaguares. They bring passion, they bring heart. Of course, we saw it against the Brumbies on the weekend. They toppled them over to make their first ever final. And, I mean, you would have seen this before, AKT. Like, they love it. It means so much to them.
Yeah, I think we talk about what's going on with the Crusaders. I think this is what the Jaguares bring to Super Rugby. You know, I mean, there's a lot of teams coming in and out of the place, but the passion that they play was uniquely South American. It adds something different to our competition. I reckon it's awesome.
Yeah, and they're not afraid to show emotion. They're
they
not
can
afraid
dance
to
better
hug
than Mills,
each
just
other.
jumping up and down, mate.
That's the thing. Look out Christchurch. Look out town if they win this weekend, Izzy?
Yep, I won't be there. I tell you
First flight out.
I'm out, checked out, take my bags, I'm off.
What about Augustine Creevy, though? This guy, he is the heart and soul of this machine. He came back from Europe to play for them in 2016, one of the originals, and he leads from the front every single weekend, CJ.
Yeah, I think, and just like KT said too, you don't get it in New Zealand. You don't get the passion that these guys play with, and you can just see on his face every time he runs the ball or every time he's in a contest, it's just passion just oozes off him. A couple of hongies that he was giving his teammates there too, but that's what he is. He's hard, he's passionate, and he's exciting to watch.
One of the best hookers in the world, Mills?
Well, he is, and you would have noticed that he had a number 16 on his back a few times. Yeah, they actually have managed him really well. Then he got injured. He broke his ribs. So in terms of sort of freshness, he's right up there, and that's why he's really starting to come together in terms of the later part of the season and a final. So he's going to be in tremendous form.
He may be fresh, but there's others that have played so many minutes this season, and that includes one of their locks, Guido Petty. Here's a quote from him. When they won that semi-final, he said, "We do not fear playing in New Zealand and we'll travel with hope." That's massive, KT, for this weekend, right?
Yeah, well, this competition this year, I think they were coming here unbeaten. They won a couple, drew one, and then they went overseas and won one. So, I mean, they don't mind coming to New Zealand, no doubt. You know, I think it's a mental thing. And once these guys got over that, I mean, this bloke from the front, how can you not follow a bloke like that? He absolutely destroyed the Brumbies last week.
Oh, he absolutely destroyed their lineup. Top 3 for lineouts won with 72 this season and 13 steals. That's 3 more than any Crusaders, Izzy, without rubbing it in.
Yeah, so the boys, obviously I don't know much about lineouts, but yeah, the boys we up front have to do a great job. Dunshay's coming in, and I know the boys have been working quite hard on it. Us back stand over the sidelines, and I actually watched the Crusader pack absolutely go against each other last week, so they'll be up for the physical challenge coming from these lads this weekend.
Okay, well, an area that you're a wee bit more familiar with. Let's move to the backs and we'll move to the playmakers. We're talking about the number 10, who is fantastic at kicking. He's been praised all season. The 30-year-old first 5, Joaquin Diaz Bonilla Mills.
Yeah, he controls the game really well, doesn't he, for his team, for the Jaguares. And just positional kicking here, he's under pressure. He hasn't got much of an angle, but look where he gets his side up there. And so that there in his technical kicking has been exceptional, but every so often as well, he'll bring some brilliant sort of footwork as well and break the line. And so he's really, really dangerous at the moment. And he's a real key player for the Jaguares.
I think the thing, Mills just hit on it, when he does decide to run, he hits close to the ruck. So he likes either those inside balls or wingers come in on those little outside balls. So I think that's something I'm sure the Crusaders will be looking at and having to
100%.
look at. Yeah.
100%. They'll be working on these guys like Boffelli. You saw Boffelli popping outside Bonelli then, and just, anyone does it from anywhere.
Bonelli? Who's Bonelli?
The 10.
Bonilla?
Diaz.
Bonilla?
Bonilla.
Not taking anything away from the rugby or anything, but God, they've got some cool names, don't they? De La Fuente, Bonilla, Morone.
Yeah, just like Spanish fellas, eh?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Montoya.
Diego Montoya.
Okay, well, we are going back to our old mate who used to be here joining us, Joe Wheeler. He's in Japan and he's got something very special for us. Who's everyone backing over there, Joey?
G'day, kick-off crew, coming here from Suntory Sun Goliath headquarters. It's great to be back talking a little bit of shop. I've actually been doing some hard work over here, but the big chat over here is the Super Rugby final. We're throwing our support behind the Crusaders. Reason being, only New Zealand team in the final. And the second reason is, well, we want to see some of Razor's new dance moves. Here's the Suntory Sun Goliath version. Hooray, Razor! Hooray, Razor! Hooray, Razor! Hooray, Razor! Hooray, Razor! Hooray, Razor! Show Crusaders, gambaré show! 1, 2, 3, go Crusaders!
Oh wow, that was unreal from Joey there. Like, great support. Great to have Joey supporting the lads because I know none of these guys up here are supporting us.
That's a good point.
I'm not supporting you. I'm not supporting Suntory as well because I played in the same city as them for Toshiba. I don't want Suntory, so don't want Crusaders.
That's a good
Go
point.
well, Crusaders.
Who's everyone supporting this
Who's everyone?
weekend? Crusaders?
It's Crusaders for me. It's Crusaders.
No, I want the Crusaders to win. I just don't want Israel to be a 3-time champion and not played the last 2 finals. You can't give them that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Get up and get that meter weight breather. Get up and get that meter, brother.
Hopefully give it Kirsty Hongi.
No.
Okay, well, we've talked about enough of your final and your three-peat, if you make it, Izzy. Let's move on to the Black Ferns. They are playing in the San Diego the Black Ferns. They're playing in the San Diego Super Series at the moment, currently unbeaten, and this weekend they take on France. It's the rematch because last year they lost to them by 3 points, and they will not want to do that again, will they, Mills?
No, they definitely won't, and you got to remember it was on French territory as well, so they'll be wanting to get that back. In that first game as well they played over there, the scrum didn't go too well for the Black Ferns. Then they went and lost, and so this game in San Diego.
Got that little Spanish influence doing. They've blooded some new women on this tour, and Pia Tapsell is one of them. We want to apologise because we didn't get the right footage of you last week, Pia, but you've played outstanding since making your debut, scoring a try as well, and she'll just be fizzing to be over there, won't she?
Yep, she's got that game under her belt, so it's exciting for her to go out there. You're playing against a better opposition, France. We know what happened last time, so I should be excited.
And a massive position that she's playing in as well. Very competitive, I hear, as well. But someone that you're a bit of an expert on, KT, she did play a few decades after you, but it's Carla Hoipa.
What the heck?
Carla Hoipa, this Sevens.
No. Totally, she had to step in Stacey Waka's shoes at 13, you know, and she plays a similar game. Her angle running is actually brilliant. Her distributing is outstanding as well. But what I like about her, she's under pressure. She makes the right decisions. And as a 13, and as these guys know, when you've got a player like that who can distribute like that, it makes all the difference, you know. And I think she's really stepped up into those shoes in the 13 jersey.
Yeah, you talk about Eloise Blackwell. Well, we're at the home of Eden Rugby Club, and we cannot not mention her because this is her club. Here she is here. She is a local. She currently plays for their Premier Rugby Club, and she's a standout for our Black Ferns as well. Well, it has been a fantastic night. As always, it always flies by when we're at this rugby club. Don't forget, the Christian Cullen documentary is on Prime this Sunday at 11:05. And, of course, the final is coming up on Saturday from Christchurch. The road to the final tomorrow, and then the final 6:30 p.m. on Saturday. Thanks for joining us at Eden Rugby Club, and we'll catch you over the weekend.